listen to me, because what I'm about to tell you is the difference between keeping the home you've worked 40 years for and losing it all to a nursing home. You've worked hard. You've saved. You've played by the rules. But there is a giant trap waiting for you if you don't understand how the government looks at your money, and it's called the Medicaid 5-year Lookback Rule. I know, you don't want to think about a nursing home. Nobody does. But the statistics tell us a different story. Most of us will need some form of long-term care, and let me tell you, it is expensive. We are talking $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 a month. Do you have that kind of money just sitting around? Probably not. So you think, it's okay, Susie, Medicaid will pay for it. And you're right, they will, but only after you are practically broke. So what do people do? They get smart. They think, I'll just give my house to my daughter, Mary, or I'll give my stocks to my grandson, and then I'll apply for Medicaid tomorrow. Stop right there. You cannot do that. Because the second you apply for Medicaid to cover that nursing home bill, the government is going to go back through your bank statements, your property records, and your investment accounts with a fine-tooth comb for the last 60 months. That is 5 years. Every birthday check you sent to a grandkid, every donation to your church, and certainly that house you sold to your kids for $1, they are going to see it. And if they see that you gave away assets just to qualify for help, they are going to slap you with a penalty period. This is a period of time where you are ineligible for Medicaid, and you have to pay for that nursing home out of your own pocket. But wait, you already gave the money away. So now what? Now you are in a crisis. This is the fear, and it is a real one. You end up in a facility you didn't choose, with no money to pay for it, and your family is left scrambling to give the money back just to keep you safe. You have to ask yourself, are you protected today for what might happen 5 years from now? Planning is not about being greedy, it's about being smart. If you want to protect your legacy, you have to start the clock now. The first thing you need to understand is that the look-back rule is only triggered when you apply for long-term care Medicaid. It doesn't apply to your standard doctor's visits or your Medicare. But because we don't have a crystal ball, we have to act as if that 5-year clock needs to start ticking today. The most common way people plan around this is through an irrevocable funeral trust or, more importantly, a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Now, listen to me closely, irrevocable means you cannot change your mind. You put the assets in, and you give up control. I know that's hard. You like control. But if you control the money, Medicaid says you own the money, and if you own it, you have to spend it on the nursing home before they give you a dime. By putting the home or the investments into a properly structured trust today, you start that 5-year timer. If you can stay healthy and out of a facility for 5 years and one day after that transfer, those assets are safe. They are invisible to Medicaid. But what if you don't have 5 years? What if the crisis is happening right now? Don't panic, but you have to move fast. There are spend-down strategies that are perfectly legal. You can pay off your mortgage. You can fix the roof on your house. You can buy a new car. You can even prepay your funeral expenses. Why? Because these aren't gifts, you are getting fair market value in exchange for your cash. You are turning countable assets into exempt assets. I want you to take an actionable step right now. I want you to pull your records and look at your total net worth. If you are sitting on assets that you want to leave to your children, not to the nursing home, you need to sit down with an elder law attorney. Not a regular lawyer, not your cousin who does divorces, but an elder law specialist. You need to ask them about a gift and loan strategy or a sole benefit trust if you're already in the window. The biggest mistake you can make is doing nothing because you're afraid. You think if you don't look at it, it won't happen. That is a lie. Denying the reality of aging is the fastest way to poverty in your 80s. You have to be brave enough to look at the numbers and say, I am going to protect what I've built. Start the clock. Document every gift. Stop giving away large sums of cash without a paper trail. And for heaven's sake, do not transfer your deed to your children without talking to a professional first, or you could end up with a tax nightmare on top of a Medicaid penalty. You have the power to control your future, but only if you act while you are still healthy. Don't wait for the crisis to knock on your door. Understand the rule, respect the 5-year window, and protect your hard-earned money. Because you deserve to retire with dignity, and you deserve to know that your legacy is safe. You can do this.